to Pia Talks, and today we are back for more true crime. But before we get into that, if you have not subscribed, do it now. It's free. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can always be notified when I post new content. So today we are talking about Jeffrey Scullin Jr. And as always, I would like to give my condolences to the family and friends of him. On October 23rd, 2017, Jeffrey Scullin Jr. killed Melinda Pelesevic. She was a mother of three. She was a wife. She was a teacher for 6th grade. She was a soccer mom. She lived in Strongville, Ohio, and everybody in the town absolutely loved Melinda. They had a huge outpouring of people wanting to just share the news of how awesome this lady was. And the whole town was absolutely devastated by her loss. So you want to find out, how does she know Jeffrey? Well, it turns out that Jeffrey is the fiance of her daughter, Anna. They have a daughter together, meaning Jeffrey and Anna have a daughter together. And she allowed Jeffrey to move into their home with her and her husband and her 3 children, one of which is her son who has Down syndrome. So she's always there, supportive, and taking care of her son, who I believe is nonverbal. This lady, from what I'm hearing, from all accounts, she was amazing with her son. But not just him, the kids in her class said how much they loved her, how supportive she was. All the soccer moms really enjoyed spending time with her and seeing her. So this was not just a loss for the husband and the children, this was a loss for their community. Once he moved in, the family started having these strange issues. They started having some burglaries. Things started coming up missing. And no one ever thought, is it possible that Jeffrey would have anything to do with this? Because of course, here he is, the father of their grandson. He's their daughter's fiance. Nice guy Jeffrey. Nobody's thinking that Jeffrey might have anything to do with these burglaries. On October 19th, Jeffrey called the police to report yet another burglary. The police believed that he filed a false report, which of course, everybody thinks so. Nobody ever seen any burglars except for Jeffrey. Isn't that odd? The police and the prosecutor believe that since he's the only one who witnessed any of these burglaries, they feel that he was using these burglaries to actually cause Melinda distress and set up this future homicide. I have to agree. That would distress anybody, thinking that people are breaking into your home. I know for sure if somebody broke into my house, I would have a hard time continuing to live here. I think that I would try, but it would never be the same. I would feel violated terribly. On October 23rd, Jeffrey was at the house with Melinda, his daughter, and her son with Down syndrome, and he took advantage of that. He shot her 3 times, then stabbed her 36 to 37 times. Once he was finished with his awful crime, he cleaned himself up and took his daughter to Applebee's to meet his future father-in-law and wife for dinner. What? How despicable does one have to be? You just killed your future wife's mother in front of your daughter and her son, then go to have dinner with her husband and your future wife as if nothing ever happened. Once they leave the restaurant, this guy makes sure that the husband, Bruce, is the first to enter the home, and he finds his wife dead. I couldn't even imagine. I could not imagine how that man's heart must have ripped out of his chest to come home to find his precious wife, the mother of his children, dead in the home, and to find his son home too, not knowing what the hell is going on. So Bruce calls 911 along with Jeff. Jeff takes Melinda's son along with his daughter outside and he calls 911. However, when he calls 911, he is stuttering, stammering. He is biding time. It's as if he's talking to the 911 operator and trying to stall her as much as possible. He's acting like he said somebody was attacked in my home. Somebody? You live there and you know who this woman is. You know, playing those kind of tactics, you know, on the phone talking to 911. Then he goes on to tell the 911 operator many times that nobody was there. We were all at the restaurant. We just got here. Are you trying to set up an alibi, sir? She doesn't need to know that. She wants to know the facts. Then he goes on to tell her, we've had several burglars around here. Okay, so you're trying to lay down your groundwork to try to make it seem like a burglar broke in here and killed this innocent woman. Nobody's buying that. The prosecution believes that the motive for the murder was the wedding of all things. It turns out that the wedding venue needed to be paid, and I guess he didn't have the funds, or maybe him and his fiance did not have the money for it. Wedding venue let them know that if they did not receive the money in full, they were going to have to cancel the wedding. So it turns out that Jeff stole Melinda's credit card and was trying to pay for the venue with her credit card. The venue tried to run the card 14 times and it was declined. So the venue decides they're going to just call her directly. They call Melinda, which now the jig is up. She is aware that you have stolen her credit card and you are trying to pay for this venue. The prosecution believes that she confronted him about the theft of her card and trying to use the card for the venue, and this is what caused him to kill this lady. So, because you stole this woman's credit card and she has approached you about it, you think the best thing to do is to kill the mother of your future wife and the grandmother of your daughter? What? Who the hell does that? As if you haven't done enough to this family by pretending that they've been burglarized and you're the one burglarizing them. Then on top of that, this woman let you into her home. She let you into her family, and by all accounts, she treated him as if he was her son. She treated him as if she had birthed him herself. What? To top it all off, on October 28th, this dude was a pallbearer at her funeral. Really? You continued this charade. How can you look these people in the face? They were so good to you. You killed their mother, the wife, the lady who loved you and treated you respectfully, invited you into her home when you didn't have anywhere to go. What? Over a damn credit card and a wedding reception banquet hall? Get married in the backyard, damn it. This is ridiculous. Now, on the day of the funeral, that was the actual date of the wedding. I mean, this is just out of control crazy for me. I'm thinking this woman liked you enough that she let you live in her home. She approved of you marrying her daughter. The husband clearly liked you because otherwise you wouldn't have been in the house. And this is how you repay these people? By killing the woman over a damn credit card, over a wedding reception? Most likely, had you had just sat down and talked to these people and said, hey, we really want to get married here at this venue, but we don't have the money. I'm sure that her and her husband would have tried to figure something out. Whether it was pick a new venue, or they would have tried to pay for it or something. Murder? I mean, an overkill. You shot that woman 3 times and you tried to shoot her again, but you missed on the 4th one. Then you stabbed her 36 to 37 times. That is vicious. Vicious, vicious. Nobody deserves that. Nobody deserves that. Jeffrey Scullin, you're a monster. An absolute monster. Another thing that gets me so bad is you committed this crime in front of her son and your own 15-month-old daughter. Her son may not be verbal, but he saw that, and he will always see that. Who does that? Not only that, according to the family, for an entire year after she was gone, the son always looked for her. He was waiting for his mom to come back. Like, what? Who does that? On the 31st of October, the police arrested Jeffrey. They had figured it out. During the interrogation, he confessed and he told the police what he did with the weapons. They were in a vehicle. They were able to retrieve the weapons, and he was arrested and held on $1 million bond, which of course nobody was paying that. Nobody is trying to get you out. You killed this beloved, innocent woman who did nothing but try to help you. The prosecutor truly believes that this crime was premeditated, that he had actually planned this crime out, which would make it even worse. You planned this? How are you coming in the house every day, seeing this woman, seeing this family, and planning her demise? What? And first of all, did you think that you were going to get away with this? Did you actually believe, what did you think, Jeffrey? Did you think that you were going to be able to murder this woman, still marry her daughter, and live happily ever after? Where was your mind? On October 29th, 2018, Jeffrey was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 33 years. Personally, I don't think that he should ever have the opportunity to get parole. 33 years or not. I think Jeffrey should have to stay in jail forever. Forever. I also think that Melinda is never coming back. So why should you get to get out? Jeffrey should have to stay in jail for the rest of his natural born life and come out of there in a body bag. These people have suffered. They continue to suffer each day at the loss of their mother, their grandmother. Now your daughter has no father, but with a father like you, is she missing anything? Not really. I just can't believe this. Jeffrey Scullin Jr., the nightmare invited into these people's home. Again, I am extremely sorry for the family. I cannot believe this. One thing that I did appreciate is there is a video on YouTube of his sentencing, and I will add it to the description. This judge, she let him have it. And I said, amen, ma'am. She expressed to him how loved Melinda was, and how dare you take such a lovely woman from the world. So as I said, I will put that sentencing in the description box so that you can all take a look. To the whole family, you are in my prayers, you are in my heart, and I hope each day gets a little easier for you. And until next time, bye.